Hello, Collective. Tarot Flow here to give you your daily collective message. I am not doing cards today. This is an intuitive message. And this message for the collective is going to come in two parts. The first part is going to be for those of you who've already been on a spiritual journey, who've been on a spiritual awakening, and this is regular everyday life for you. The second message is going to come to those who are just starting a spiritual awakening and not too well versed in your spiritual journey. So the first message for those of you who have been on a spiritual journey and you ritualize, you have an altar, you practice ancestor veneration, you have ancestor communication, that type of thing, it's going to be really important for you guys to know food offerings are going to be really, really important at this time, especially as we're going into Christmas, we're going into winter solstice. We have the new moon in Sagittarius on Friday, December 19th. It's going to be really important that you are paying attention to what your ancestors are telling you, asking you for, that type of thing. Food's going to be real big, especially around the holidays. Like family members are coming together and are making food. Normally, your ancestors that passed on are wanting the food that your relatives are cooking or even you're cooking. So, three examples. And this could be the reason why I'm doing three examples, could also be the reason why I'm having to say it because it's going to resonate with someone. So, the first example, you're wanting to try food that maybe you've never had before, but like you could feel like you taste it and you're craving for it. This could be an ancestor that maybe you never met before that is wanting that food. The second example, if you are having memories of an ancestor from when maybe you were a child, like a grandmother, a great grandmother, a grandfather, a great uncle, that type of thing, whoever is cooking something as like, from when you were a child, you could be craving it. Ask relatives if they have that recipe and like try to see if you can, like, cook it the same way that person did because they're wanting it. They're wanting you to offer it to them or they're wanting you to cook it and share it. And not only that, but I'm hearing like peanut butter cookies and or barbecue. So this message could resonate with someone who's been like tasting and craving peanut butter cookies from a relative or barbecue from a relative. So if that is, please comment below because that just came out of nowhere. And then the third example would be like, if you're having if you know the ancestor that passed on, the loved one, if you know that person and you had a relationship with them, if you're craving their favorite food, like fast food, it can even be McDonald's. Like it could be their favorite dinner that they made for you, or, a favorite dish that they made around the holidays, especially this time. Even if it's McDonald's, like if you're craving it, even though like you wouldn't normally eat it yourself, they're wanting it. So if it is McDonald's, just get them like a burger and keep it in a wrap and just put it on the altar, or keep it there for a couple days, throw it away. Um, and for those of you who are wanting to start practicing ancestor veneration, I'm also hearing to let you guys know that when you are offering food on the altar, make sure it's completely dried out before you get rid of it. When it's dried out, all the sustenance and the energy is taken from it. Um, you can throw it away. Ask your ancestors. I live in an apartment complex, so I'm not able to all the time take my food outside into nature, which when I had my own house and yard, that's what I did. I would take my food outside and give it back to nature. If you're not able to do that, you can throw it away. Sometimes ancestors kind of feel like that's disrespectful, but anytime you put food on the altar, it is not for you to eat. That's extremely disrespectful for you to eat an offering. Okay. What I do, I'm Filipino and I always make Filipino food for my household and for my ancestors. And what I do is, you know, I'll put food on my ancestor altar, but when I'm done cooking the food, I will like take the lid off of everything while it's still hot and steamy and just set my intention for the ancestors to eat first before me and my son do. You know what I mean? So they have an opportunity to get whatever they need from it and then we'll eat. you can do that. But just ask your ancestors what they need at this time. I feel like you being able to support them in this time as much as they support you is going to be really important, especially for those of you who have a communication with your ancestors and you've been asking for something or manifesting something and you're asking them to come and assist you with it. They're going to need that energy just as much as you need their help, right? Now, the second message is going to be for those of you. My son is upstairs making so much noise. The second message is going to be for those of you who are just starting a spiritual awakening and or spiritual journey. You could be having dark night of the soul. You could be isolating. You could be in hermit mode. Don't think that you are crazy. Don't think that, you know, this is something that is breaking you. It's an awakening. So it is happening to you for a reason. And the message here is to surrender to it. Don't resist it. People who are coming into a spiritual awakening for the first time, something traumatic could have recently happened to you. Something, devastating could have recently happened to you. And this is causing you to maybe crash out, maybe go into depression, hermit mode, whatever it is. But that recent experience is bringing you to the realization that something needs to change. That change is you leaning into faith, leaning into knowing that you're not alone and that someone or something is here to assist you and support you. And you need to believe in that. You're not crazy and you're not alone. But I feel like for those of you that are surrendering to whatever it is the divine is showing you or wanting you to know at this time, you don't want to miss the message and you don't want to, miss the experience of going through something difficult and coming out of it resilient, because that's what your ancestors need you to do. Some of your ancestors didn't have the luxury of making out of it or surviving. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so you're doing this for them. And if you are going through a spiritual awakening and maybe you're the only person in your family that's into this type of information or into spirituality, you might be the curse breaker in your family. So now you're feeling it even heavier. If you are, you're not just carrying that grief and that pain for yourself, but you're carrying it for your lineage. And I'm starting to get really emotional. So I feel like this is meant for someone to hear, because it could have felt like up until this point it's been really rocky for you and really unstable, but what you have to understand is that all of the pain and all of the trauma and all of the fears or phobias that you have are not yours. You're feeling them all at once because these are the things that you've inherited from your ancestors. Okay. um be very gentle with yourself at this time. Love up on yourself. Ask whoever it is that you believe in, your ancestors, your angels. Ask them to come and assist you and support you at this time. Ask them to come help give you the mental clarity. Help them. Ask them to help you move through grief and separation and detachment, because the more and more you're resisting it, the more painful it's going to be, and the more you're going to beat yourself up about, oh, I wish I would have did it this way, or whatever failures or mistakes that you've made up until this point. You're going to be really hard on yourself about it. Don't. Okay. Spiritual awakenings take time. It takes time for you to get out of it. And the whole point of a spiritual awakening is for you to believe in something outside of you. Okay. And not only that, but the whole purpose is for you to go inward. If someone or something is irritating you, go inward and ask yourself if you have that same quality, and maybe you're being triggered, or maybe that's a part of you that is wounded that you need to heal and focus on. Okay. So whoever this message is for, I'm sending you love and light, and I wish you the best. And I wish that you can come out of it with a better perspective and mindset, knowing that everything happens for a reason. Um, but that's the messages that I have for you guys today. If it resonated with you, please comment down below. I'm also leaving my email up here for a personal reading if you are interested. And as always, please like, share, and follow for more. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye.